Hello and welcome to the studio where we paint away the stress of everyday life. Molly's relaxing in the seat as I'm going to start this fantastic painting. Yeah, so I'm going to be working on a canvas today because I'm sure by now, if you're like me, you've had enough of painting on cardboard. If you don't know what I mean, check the iCards out. So this is quite a long canvas actually. It's a 24, it's a 29 inch by 12 inch.
To learn with our friend Clive. So grab your brush, have a great time. And don't forget to click subscribe.
But you can paint on any size you want. It does not matter. I just have this lying around and I've got a painting in mind. As you know, I normally work on little cardboard like this, little bits of cardboard, and I do some trial paintings, and this is one I was playing with quite a while ago now. I've got that down there, which I'm going to just give it a quick look at. Okay, let's look at the palette. I've got a few different colours here today. I've been asked a lot, what paints do I use? Well, I actually mix my own paints in the studio, and these are available on the website at www.clive5art.co.uk, along with things like flow improver, fine mist bottles, brushes that I normally use in the studio, my medium mix, etc., which is in there. So yes, these are the paints that I mix myself, but what I'm saying to you is, don't worry if you use whatever paints you've got. But I do know that a lot of people like using my paints, so if you want to give them a try, just have a look on the website at www.clive5art.co.uk. So I've got my studio blue there, which is very similar to a processed blue, but that's my studio blue. That's my ultramarine blue. It's a French ultramarine blue, so it's more on the warm side of the blue. I've got some crimson, I've got some mid red, I've got some burnt umber, some yellow ochre, some raw sienna, and some of my mid yellow there as well, as you can see. So I wanted to use a few of my paints just to show you that, you know, that's what all I use actually in the studio now. It saves me money. And some titanium white. I got a variety of different brushes that I've accumulated over the years. Some are my brushes and some others that I've just picked up. So when we're looking at a canvas like this, it can be a bit daunting, can't it? And you might be saying, why have you put a pink background on that? Well, you can put any colour you want. So if you've made your own gesso, as I do, I make my own gesso. Recipe cards are recipes in the iCards there. Make your own gesso, and then you can put some red with that to make a pink background, or you can use burnt umber to make a brown background. You can put blue with it, make a blue background. And the next question I'm asked is, why would you want to do that? Why can't you just paint on white? Two reasons. Number one is it helps with the eye, and number two, that is going to give a lovely warm feel into this painting, because I'm going to let little bits of this pink show through, because I want to do an autumn scene today with some water and some trees. So we need to keep the balanced composition. We need to keep this painting balanced. This is going to be a bit longer than normal because I want to take you through the whole process today. I'm just checking that my sound is recording. I'm going to take a little drink and then I'm going to get started. Okay, so I'm just picking up a size 20, a large, a short flat. I'm going into some of my medium mix, and then I'm going to pick up some of my blue and some white on my brush. There we go, just like that. Don't worry about it, just like that. And then we're going to just go into the sky very, very quickly, leaving a little bit of that pink show through. This is going to be quite a painterly type of painting. As you know me, I don't worry about being 100% perfect, because I don't believe in it. That's my style of painting. I'm just going to go very quickly over that. I will be painting the edges because I'm going to be keeping this one. But for now, I'm just going to get on with the painting, because that's the most important thing. I want it a bit lighter down towards this area there, like that. And as you know, as you've seen, Molly is in the studio over there, so I wouldn't be surprised if she's going to start crying in a minute, don't want to go out. But that's fine, we can work with that. So all I'm doing is trying to get some sky in place. Use whatever brush you want. I just happen to use the this number 20 because I quite like it actually, and I want a nice painterly loose type of feeling to this painting. Now I'm going to use my fine mist bottle. This is a fine mist bottle which is available on the website www.clive5art.co.uk. I'm just going to slightly mist down because I want the paint just to move and skid across this painting, trying to keep it straight. If you want to put a line there, then you can do that. I'll tell you what we'll do. We should put a line just there and there, just because I should have done that really, but I just thought, could I get away with it? I thought, well, can I get away with that? I thought, not really, no. It's just a quick horizon line there. Don't do what I do. Sometimes these things happen. By talking too much, I forget sometimes. So I'm just going to put a bit of cloud into this sky. Like this. Bit of that warmth is coming through. I'm not worried too much here because this is going to be a lot of trees and things, but we've got to get that in place anyway. We've got to get that in place anyway. So I'm just going to lightly paint that down like that. Getting a little bit more moisture onto my brush. I like this pink, warm type of look coming through this painting. Now you might see my head in one of these cameras, but on my other camera, hello number 2, hopefully I should have obscured my big bonds. At least it's not as big as it was. As you know, I've been on a diet lately and I've lost a lot of weight. In fact, it's going really well. If you want to follow my progress, pop along to Clive's Healthy Mindset and Living. The links are in the iCard there, and there'll be a link at the end of the video as well for you. Just pop along and follow my progress, and if you want to join a weight loss group or something like that, then that'd be good. I'm not saying anybody needs to. Anyway, okay, a little bit of ultramarine blue now, and a little bit of my blue. There we are. We'll say call it process blue for now. And I'm just going to put in some blue and white on a horizontal line like that. There you go. A bit more white, a little bit more ultramarine blue. Coming down like this. Making sure I got a bit of moisture on my brush. Trying to mix these two colours together. A little bit of that pink showing through, which is really, really nice. Now this is going to be more of an abstract. No, it's not abstract. Abstract is the wrong word. It's more of an impressionistic type of style of trees. It's not going to be like, wow, that tree looks realistic. No, I don't do that. Never have, never will. It's not my way of painting, but it might be your way of painting. So what you can do in that case is adapt this lesson to suit you. That's what you want to do. Adapt this lesson to suit you. There we are. Let's just get a little bit of that blue going across there like that. Get a couple of lines coming down. And very quickly just go across like that. It's looking alright already. There we go. What I'm going to do is wash my brush. I've used the same brush. Don't know if you've noticed, I haven't changed my brush yet. You don't need all these brushes. What do you want all these brushes for? Anyway, let's get some cloud shapes. Using the techniques that you've learned through all those little tiny paintings you've been doing on cardboard. This is a painting you're going to do now, and you're going to sell this painting. You're going to take this painting to a craft fair, And this painting is going to sell, and you're going to be amazed, and you're going to be thinking, wow, wasn't it worth me spending all that time just practicing on that cardboard that Clive said about? I think that's amazing, that is. Try and get that sky in pretty quick now. If you're painting plein air, that means if you're outside painting, get that sky in as quick as you can. And don't worry about it. Once the sky is done, it's done. That's what you want to try and accomplish, is get the mood of the painting as quickly as you possibly can, and then as the light changes, then don't worry about it, because you've already captured that particular moment. And what a lot of painters do, a lot of artists do, is when they're painting outdoors, they go, oh, the sky has changed, I've got to change the sky, and oh, the lighting has changed here, and I've got to change that now. But you don't have to do that. There's no law saying you have to do that at all, because at the end of the day, if you've captured that moment, it's like taking a photograph. There's no point taking a photograph and then taking another photograph and then taking another photograph and saying, oh, which one? You've caught it. That's it. That's the one that works. Painting is very much like that. Painting is very much like that. There we are. Does that look okay? I don't know. It looks a bit of a mess to me. It doesn't matter. Okay. I'm just going to wash that brush very quickly. I'm just going to put that one side. I'm just going to pick up one of my foliage brushes. This is a foliage brush that you can buy on www.clive5art.co.uk. Ultramarine blue, some white. I'm going to chuck a little bit of burnt umber into it. A bit more burnt umber. I haven't got any black on my palette today. I don't want to make... I don't want black. There we go. So I just added a little bit of crimson to it. Taking that down now, a bit whiter, a bit more burnt umber. Go in. Just like that. Just have fun, just make some crazy marks. Go nuts. Crazy or what? That's crazy. That is crazy. Right. Let's get some, we'll call it processed blue and some cadmium red. Now, what we're going to do now is going to develop, I don't know if you'll see this, but you'll develop a lovely purple colour. Look at that purple. Let's take it right down. Taking it right down. A bit more blue. But I chuck a little bit of ultramarine blue into that. Just change up the colour. Just change up the colour a bit. Changing up the colour. Put a bit of that in the background like this. Maybe we get that a bit lighter. Maybe we'll just get that a little bit lighter. Like that. Chucking a bit of that in like this. I don't know where that lives. Where does that live? Where does that start? Where does it begin? Where does it end? Who knows? I don't know. Wow. Chuck a bit of that colour in. Chuck a bit of that in there like that. Just get some of this purple in. Chuck that in. Who knows? Who cares? I don't. There we go. Oof. Wow. Fantastic. Right. What you can do with acrylics you cannot do with oils is you get a hairdryer like this and you blast this. I'm going to blast this till it's dry. How long does that normally take? Well, it takes as long as it takes. So that's what I'm going to do now is I'm going to blast this with a hairdryer and I'll be back when it's dry. I'll be back. Hopefully that should be dry enough. Now if you know me and you like this method I'm going to be using, because I use this quite a lot in fact, is I'm going to get some zinc mixing white there, like that. That's just a zinc mixing white. I've got tubes of this, but I do actually make my own. Pop along to the website, save yourself some money, because it can be quite an expensive thing, is the old zinc mixing white, but I tend to make my own, but I just happen to have tubes here, so I'm going to use it. There we go. I get paint bought for me sometimes for Christmas. Well, I used to, not so much now because I make my own, but people bought me loads of tubes, and I've had tubes sent to me from different companies, and I got a lot of paint here. I got enough paint here to sink a battleship, to be honest. And with the pigments and everything then that I use to make my own paints, because not only do I buy pigments in, but I actually go out and find my own pigments. Now, we have got, so I mix that with water. I'm going to tell you this little story as I do this now. We have got very close to me an old iron ore mine, and it has been there for quite a long time. Well, it's dismantled now, and I have made videos on this before. So I'm just going to put that over those trees there. Some of these might be just obscured anyway, so I wouldn't worry too much about it. All I'm doing is just knocking back that colour. And not only did they used to mine iron ore, but they used to mine yellow ochre. Yes, a lot of yellow ochre come out of that mine years ago, and not a lot of people know that, but we used to sell, I said, yellow ochre from that mine. And there is bits and pieces around there. I have actually found some yellow ochre there, which I can get at. It's a very secret location, this yellow ochre, and I can get it, and I can refine it, and I can grind it and throw my brush across the studio, and I can make my own yellow ochre. There's also a way of making paint from coal dust as well, and there's a lot of iron ore dust there as well, so I can get this lovely red. Have I got any? It's just in another drawer. It's a very red. It's like, let me think. It's like an oxide. It's like a red oxide, basically. It's really nice. And there's another place I found. There was what they call an open cast. They used to do open cast mining, and there's a section up there that I found. It's by a small river, and there's a lot of old coal dust and stuff like that, which is when it's actually sieved and things, makes a lovely black coal dust paint, which I use to paint some of my Welsh art. I shall put a picture up there for you now. This is one of my paintings I've actually done with this paint. Okay, I diverse. Right, so we've just knocked those back. You can see. Have you noticed how they're, as it's drying, they get in a little bit more faded. So rather than, you can use a little bit more white into that. If you wanted to put gesso into the paint rather than titanium white, it's going to make it a lot more chalky. And you can do that. I'll do a painting with gessos and acrylics, and you can get this wonderful texture on you. And some people say, you can't do that. You can't mix gesso with paint. Yes, you can. Don't let anybody stop you doing whatever you want. And as long as these paintings are sealed with a varnish, an acrylic varnish, it's fine. Absolutely fine. Don't let anybody tell you any different. Just tell them Clive said, and yes, it works for Clive. I've been working with acrylic paints, and I've been actually painting now for nigh on 35, 36 years, 37 years, maybe a bit more longer. I've been painting and drawing ever since I can remember, but I've been working with acrylics exclusively for over 8 years now. So what I don't know about acrylics and how they work doesn't really need saying. And I'm not saying that to be big-headed or anything like that. I'm just saying that I know what I'm talking about. Some would disagree. Because whatever works for you, works for you. It's not necessarily what works for me. And I can completely respect that. I really do. So whatever works for you, well, if it works for you, it works for you. And if it's a different way, it's a different way, then that's fine with me too. But I'm just saying you what works for me. If you want to follow my advice, then you can do that. If you don't want to follow my advice, then you can do that also. I don't mind. I'm just happy to see people painting and following me, and it's the same with my other channel, Clive's Healthy Mindset and Living. Please pop along there and support me. I really would appreciate some help on that channel. I need some subscribers, so I'll put the link up in the iCards, which is popping up now. So please try that, and there'll be a link at the end as well. So there we go. So let's get some burnt umber and some raw sienna. Raw sienna tends to be a little bit on the... I'm going to put a bit of yellow on my brush. It tends to be a little bit on the transparent side, so I'm just going to chuck a little bit of colour just to darken up the foreground. Basically, I want those autumnal. I got some really big words, haven't I? Autumnal. Yes. I'm British, you know. Well, I'm Welsh, actually. I'm British. Welsh? British? I'm Welsh. Somebody said the other day, he said, what part of Australia do you come from? I don't come from Australia, mate. I'm totally Welsh. G'day. Yeah, g'day to all you Australians out there. Okay, so let's put a bit of... let's put a bit of yellow ochre, just flashing around there like that. There we go. Leave some of that background come through, doesn't matter. Let's put a bit of yellow ochre down this side. I want this to look like, I don't know. We've got to put some more blue over this in a second. It's really fun. I love painting these type of scenes. Okay, let's just clean your brush off. Can't do that, Clive. Yes, you can. Just clean your brush off. Who's going to say any different? Huh? I don't know. Okay, get a bit of white. Mix that bit of white into there. And mix a bit of white into there like that. Let's just get this colour. Same brush, look. I haven't really used another brush yet. And I don't know what's the matter with me today. I don't know. Just make a little bit of landmass there like this. Brushing it down. Dum dum dee 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 dee. I can hear a bit of rain. I can hear a bit of rain on the roof of my shed. Let's get some. Dun dun dun. Let's get some burnt umber in there like that. Just give it a little bit of dimension. A little bit of dimension. It hasn't been very nice weather, really. I'm hoping when this goes out. I'm not even here. Look, I'm not here. I'm in Tenerife. I'm lying on a beach in the sun. I'm not here today. No, this was pre-recorded a couple of weeks ago. So Isn't time funny? Especially with YouTube, you think, oh, Clive's doing really well there. You know, how does he do these? How does he do these videos? Oh, sometimes I pre-make them. There you go. Sometimes I just pre-make these videos. After all, who cares? My philosophy in life, that is. Just do what you want to do when you want to do it, and don't let them grind you down. Don't let these people grind you down. It's not worth it. Don't let life grind you down. Live each day. Live each day. Some things we're just not happy with. But there again, we can't change some things sometimes. We can't. I'm just looking at my Fitbit. My Fitbit is telling me, look, I've got to do 22 steps this hour. 22 steps. So we can either do this, or I can just shake my arm. That's a cheat for a Fitbit. So if anybody's got a Fitbit, just shake your arm like that, and he thinks you're walking. Oh. I was doing that the other night, and my wife said, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm walking, love." Yeah, there's a little cheat for you. So I'm just putting a couple of bits of colour just into this background like this. There we are. There we go. Nice. Nicely done, Clive. Now I'm going to put my brush down. I'm going to get a script liney brush. This is one of these long, thin script lining brushes, which you can buy on the website at www.clive5art.co.uk. And we haven't got no black. So how are you going to darken that? We'll get some burnt umber. We'll get some ultramarine blue. We'll mix them two together. And what you're going to find is you're going to get a very dark, if not bordering on a black colour. There we go. Look at that. Wow. Have you tried mixing blacks? Well, you can. You can mix blacks. Mix your own blacks. Don't buy blacks. Mix your own blacks. That's how I've made all my blacks. There's a nice warm black there that's available on the website. And you can see there's all the different tones of colour. Look at that. Can you see? You should see that. There you go. So that's a wonderful black that I make myself. Yes. Okay, so we need to make this quite thin, actually, don't we? We need to get a few thin lines there, like this. Let's just put a few. Oops, that's a very thick one. Well, what's happened to my brush? Somebody's been playing with my brushes. Don't like that one. Let's go back to Old Faithful. I've had this brush now for several years, in fact. Okay, so let's go like that. Let's put another one in there. Like that. Another one there. Very thin. This one's quite thick. Like that. And let's put another one in. Some are darker than others. Some are thinner. Just enjoy painting them, actually. Just make it up as you go along. It is raining out there now. I wanted to go to my bike this afternoon because I do a lot of cycling now. Let's just put a few bigger ones there like that. Let me just get my big head out the way. I do a lot of cycling now. That's why I get inspired with some of these paintings sometimes. There you go. Just have fun. Just have fun. Not much to look at, is there? No. Looks pretty good though. We're looking alright. I think we're okay. Let's put a bit more definition in this land here like that. We need a bit darker in places, don't we? I'm just going to rest my brush on my arm like this. I'm going to be giving this as a gift to a friend. Actually, it's going to be to my stepson's new girlfriend. I hope she likes it. I hope she does anyway. And if she doesn't, I'm sure she will tell me. And if she doesn't, I'm sure she will tell me. I'm just looking at this now. What I'm actually going to do now is I'm just going to let that dry, I think. And I'm going to walk away 5 minutes, check Molly. And I'm going to come back and new eyes. Don't rush paintings. There's no need to rush these type of things. So I don't want this to be too deep. I want it to be quite flat. I'm not looking for creating depth and distance. Otherwise, I'd have to work on a foreground. I'm not doing that. This is more of a painterly type of painting. I don't really know where it's going yet, but I'll get there. I will get there. I promise. But see you soon. Okay, so I come back. It's all nice and dry. It is throwing it down out there. Absolutely. It's a horrible wet old night. So I'm going to just get a little bit of titanium white just on the tip of my brush. Now, the titanium white is very, very opaque, so just be careful when you're doing this. But I want to just slightly lighten that area there like that. There you go. I'll do. Okay, so again over there I'm going to get some ultramarine blue, very thin. I can do this with a medium mix. It doesn't matter with a medium mix because that's what it's designed for. That's what I've designed it over the years, to actually thin down like this. So I'm just going to put some wash of this wonderful French and ultramarine blue just over there like this. Like this. Very thin wash of colour. Put a bit of sky like that. If you want to darken down a little bit of a sky, you can do the same type of thing like that. Look, see, very good. But we're not going to do that. So let's get some more Prussian blue. Sorry, ultramarine blue. I don't know where I got Prussian blue from. I don't know. None on my palette. So I put it on a bit thicker there because I want it to look a little bit darker this side. Just to throw the painting in a bit. There we are, like that. Again, Just get some lines like that. Get some titanium white. It is coming down quite heavy out there, don't I can hear it. Get some titanium white. I'm just going to pull in a few lines like this. Just a little bit of line. Try and get a little bit of line under there. Whoops. Get your finger involved. Look. We want that painterly look. A water type of effect. Like that. This gives it a bit of a I got an idea to make this a little bit more there we go. Right, put that brush back in there. I'm going to go in now with a long handled number 6 brush. I want to mix some yellow ochre and a little bit of yellow together. There we go, like that. All I'm going to do now is put in some little marks like this. Quite like this type of effect. So rather than get one of my brushes like this, and you'll see these and you'll notice I do this type of stuff to get that realistic type of effect. All I'm doing now is just allowing the brush to just leave some marks like this, because this is an autumnal scene, leaving a couple of that in the background. Then let's get some of this yellow ochre and just put a few dots here and there like this. How is that paint still wet? It doesn't matter. People say that acrylics dry really fast, but I've been out of the studio for a good half hour and it still haven't dried. So it's the environment I'm in, this because it's quite a cold, damp night tonight, so that could be the fact why that is happening. So just get this paint. Let's get some more yellow. And just chuck a bit of yellow in there, like this. Just let the brush do what it wants to do. You could use your finger if you wanted to. Why not? Nobody said you can't paint with your fingers. Dots, little dots here and there like this. Let's get some raw sienna. Mix a little bit of that in there, like that. Bit of raw sienna. Goes back into some yellow. Just down there like this. Use the flat of the brush, use the side of the brush. Let the paint mix together. starting to look nice. Get a bit more raw sienna. Get those lumps of paint pulling off that brush. Like that. You want it painterly. We want it painterly. Let's just get a bit of burnt umber coming in there now. Let's just get a little bit of dark in there. Like this. Just let the paintbrush do what it wants to do, look. Tappy tappy tap 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 tap. Get some raw sienna. Might be a different tree. Might be a different type of tree this side. Ooh, that was a big lump. And we just mix it in. I wasn't paying attention what I was doing then, but that's fine. Let it happen. This is why art is art. I could just chuck a few lumps of paint on just to play with this tree there, like that. And you can see why there's colours down there now, because you can see that this tree is starting to come together. A few little bit of yellows. Fill in some of this area like that. Just look at a massive colour there. Let's get some yellow ochre. There we go. Let's work on these little ones. Using the brush. Dippy dippy dippy. Use a different method now. Just tap it. Tap it like that. Just tap it. Again, the other brush, a little bit of burnt umber. Just tap, 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 tap. Have fun. Just get a bit of burnt umber. Put a few different things in like that. Let's get some raw sienna. Maybe get a little bit of yellow. Pushing up. Using all these colours together. Let's get some yellow. Just have fun. Just allow the paint to come off the brush. Don't paint. Don't paint. Don't do this. Don't need to do that. Just allow the brush and the canvas to work together, allowing the paint to flow off the brush onto the canvas. Let the canvas and the brush work together. All you're doing is just tap, tappy, 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 tappy. Remember that? Tappy, 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 tappy. Tappy, 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 tappy. It's allowing it to happen. It's all we want. It's all we want. Let's get a bit of the reflections in the water. There we go. Tappy, tappy, tappy. Tappy, 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 tappy. To make all these different types of trees. All this wonderful colour we got. Bit of burnt umber. Change it up a bit. Could be like a fir tree or something there. I don't know. You make it up. These are what your trees. These are your trees. Your trees are going to be different to my trees. So just make them be what they want to be. Let the trees grow in your painting. Let the trees grow. Bit of yellow. Just let the trees grow. There we are. Looking nice. It's coming. It's coming. Let's get some raw sienna and some yellow. Let's put some more tree shapes on the side. Getting a bit of burnt umber in there now. Just like that. There you go. Let's get some more yellow. I want to get a bit of paint on there now. Bit of white paint. Get the brush in there. Get your finger in there. Just make it all stand out like that. Some distant trees and things. And what's me flicks? Who's me flicks? What's me call it? Let's have a bit of fun. Let's have a bit of fun. Let's just get a brush. There we go. I'm going to get this brush, number 20. We've been using it all the time. I got a couple of these brushes, so I don't know how this is going to work. I want it quite loose. I'm going to get another brush then, a long handled brush like that. What I'm going to do is just chuck a few. I'm trying not to get any on my a nice clean t-shirt. Unsuccessfully. I mean, I need to clean my top off. Bit of water. And Jane won't be happy. That's why I wear a proper shirt in the studio. That's okay. I got some surgical spirits. I can get that out with it after. There we are. Let's just rub that in. A couple of little lines like that. There we go. And that's just about it, I think. What I'm going to do is get my script lining brush. And just for a bit of fun, I'm going to put my little bird in. Normally there's a little bird flying around somewhere. We'll just put him by there. One by there, and we'll put one by there. Just, I don't like that one. He's flown away. Put one by there. There you go. I tell you what could be fun. Just get a couple of spots of red. Just put a few little spots. I got a couple of spots of yellow. Maybe one or two spots of white. Get a nice thin paint. And what I'm going to do today is I'm actually going to sign this today, making sure that's fine. Apply 5 art. There you go. Have fun. I hope you enjoy painting that. You make it any scale you want. So thank you very much for joining me in the studio today. I've really enjoyed that painting actually. So if you like what you've seen today, don't forget to click that subscription button down there. Over there is another video that you might like to watch, and don't forget the iCards, and down there are a couple of subscription buttons. Just click on them. One's going to take you to my new website, and the other one's going to take you over to my new channel, which is Clive's Mindset and Living. So I'll see you then. Have fun. See you in the studio next time. Bye.